I'm doing fennel and mushroom soup. This is something that's great for the holiday season or for other times when you're busy, but you want to have something hot in between. Maybe you're going out caroling and you need something hot when you get back. It doesn't always have to be cocoa or hot cider. It could be some kind of soup as well. So I've got a large pot because it makes a decent size of pot full. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil to it. Make sure your pan is hot before you add the oil. You're less apt to have sticking. And then when the oil gets hot, then you can go ahead and start adding the other ingredients. So I have about a cup of chopped onion. And I'm also going to add a cup of diced red bell peppers and a cup of thinly sliced celery. Here goes the celery. Here goes the red bell pepper. And I also have about a cup and a half of potatoes that I've diced a little bit larger than the others, and I used red potatoes because I wanted them to hold their shape. And then I've got 4 garlic cloves that I've just thinly sliced instead of doing what we usually do with them, which is cut them down into a finer dice. And we're going to let this simmer, saute for about 5 minutes. And then we'll come back and we'll add a few more ingredients. This does take a little bit of time to get ready, but it's things that you can pretty much do all the chopping and dicing ahead of time. The only thing that you probably don't want to do too far ahead would be the potato. Other than that, you can go the morning before, the evening before, even almost the weekend before. Now, this recipe has fennel, as you may have assumed, since the name of the recipe is fennel and mushroom soup. So this is the fennel. We're using the bulb of the fennel. Other parts of the fennel are useful as well, and if you wanted to save a few of the fronds, you could do that and use it as a garnish on the top. Fennel is often said to have a licorice flavor. You're going to wash it off like you would other things, and then I usually will cut it in half, and I'm doing it now because I wanted you to see the inside. All of this is useful except pretty much that core. So what I will often do is cut it like I would cut an onion. So slices down this way until you get the size of dice. Like an onion, it's going to fall apart into bits for you so that as you cut it, it's going to break apart into smaller pieces. The other thing that you need to see as I'm doing this is you can see that inside it, just like a leek, you're going to find dirt. So you're going to have to make sure that you wash that well on the inside. If you find that it's there and you weren't aware that it was going to be there, put your cut pieces into a bowl, rinse them with water, and then let that water pour it off so that those pieces of insect or soil or whatever that is are left behind in the water, and then you can go ahead and dry what you're using. You don't want to use it wet because you don't want it to cause the sauteing to stop. So again, we'll come back in just a few minutes. The other thing you want to make sure you get out is that you take out that core. As you work your way down to it, just take that out by cutting in a wedge shape and removing it, or slice it and just take it out of the slice. Okay, we're putting things in here in different stages because certain things are going to need longer for their flavor to develop or to break down, for longer to cook, such as the potatoes. We're ready to add the fennel. You'll notice I've got a few little bits of frond here. That's perfectly fine. We're going to go ahead and add those in. This will continue to cook for about 6 minutes after the fennel is stirred in, so we'll come back to it. Okay, remember we're building flavors a little bit at a time. So the next one that's going in is about 6 ounces or 2 cups of mushrooms. Now I'm using button mushrooms. You could use button mushrooms or cremini mushrooms, whichever one you happen to have. They're going to, again, develop or add some meatiness to this. Cremini ones have a little bit more flavor than the button ones do, but either one is going to work really well in this kind of a recipe. This is going to cook for about 5 more minutes, then we're going to add some other ingredients and it's going to be able to sit on its own. This has developed some great flavor because we have all these vegetables that are in there producing the flavors blending together, but we're going to boost it a little bit. I've got a teaspoon of dried basil and a teaspoon of lemon pepper. And these two are going to go in there. We're going to stir those in just briefly, get things moved around a little bit. And then I'm going to add a quart of low salt or no salt vegetable broth. Because we have all these other flavors in there, we don't need a lot of salt in it. We're going to add a little bit later on. If you wanted to make this a vegetarian or a vegan meal, you could do so by using vegetable broth. I'm going to add an acid to this now, and this is one of the reasons also that we do a lot of the cooking ahead of time, because when you have an acid in with vegetables, they tend not to soften up much. So I'm going to add just a little bit, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Now I'm using apple cider vinegar. Oftentimes we use a different acid. We use lemon juice, but this will do the same thing as far as perking up the flavors and giving a little brightness. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'm going to add half of what the recipe calls for. It calls for a half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and I'm going to add about half of that because I want to taste it later on, and this is going to have those flavors blend, have them develop, and I don't want to have more salt in it at the end than I want. I can always add it in, but it's a lot more difficult to get it back out. This is then going to come up to a boil, and then we'll simmer it for about 25 minutes. No need to cover it. Okay, we're going to taste this now and see if we have enough salt in it, because not only did we add salt to it, we also added mushrooms, which contain glutamate, like in monosodium glutamate, that same kind of flavor, which really enhance the flavors that are there and make them taste bigger than they are, including the salt. So I'm going to take a little taste of it, see how it is. I think we're going to add just a little bit more salt. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest to it. Remember, if you add too much salt to a soup that you're cooking, you can add a potato to it, but then you have to keep cooking it and then throw that potato away. It will absorb some of the salt, but better not to get to that point to begin with. All right, this is ready. We're ready to go. This makes 4 servings. Again, it's an awesome soup, and one of the few soups that you find now that doesn't already have tomatoes in it. So it's got a little bit of red because of the red bell pepper, but the tomato's not there. So I've added a few tomatoes around the side. Do that, some fruit or a salad and a glass of milk, and I think you've got a nice meal after a good time in the cold outdoors. I hope you'll give it a try. This is Fennel and Mushroom Soup for Oklahoma Gardening. I'm Barbara Brown.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.